What if I told you that there's a foolproof way of hitting your goals and most people don't even know that it's easy? Let's get into it.
To all those that come to this happy place, welcome.
Today we're talking about planning to fail. And why planning to fail? It's because others don't. I feel like when everyone starts talking about success, even me, we've all been I don't even know what the word to say for it really. I guess we've all been blinded by the same routine of you have to write your goals, you have to have a plan, a 2 year, a 5 year plan, which is all good and well. But I think we've all written plans out, and then it comes to 2 months, 3 months, a half a year down the road, and we realize even though we wrote them down, and yes, you're more likely to achieve those goals when they're written down, but even still, I feel like I've written down so many goals and I haven't achieved the ones or most of the ones that I have written down. So I've set out over the last year to go, what realistically is keeping me from obtaining those goals? Even with a written plan, a written schedule, all of these things that we say, oh, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to have a bulletin board. I'm going to have my calendar and I'm going to have all these things planned out and written out. I'm going to follow these things day to day. Even the habits themselves of getting into those, I feel like we lose those more often than not. That's why New Year's resolutions are just so bad because they're not a lifestyle change. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna do this for a little bit and hope that maybe I get results from it. But realistically, it's a lifestyle. So how do you plan for things and then not achieve them? I would say it's the hidden failures that we don't look for when it comes to making sure that we succeed. So I started doing this. I started going, I'm going to plan to fail, meaning every goal that I have written down, what is going to stop me from getting to that point? So, what does planning to fail really mean? For not only me, but for everybody that's out there, hopefully you get to see this video. What does planning to fail really mean? It really means the aspect of putting an obstacle in front of every goal that you have written down. Every goal that you have, anyway, is going to have some sort of obstacle. We just don't plan for them. We plan for the goal, we don't plan for the failure that comes with it and how to deal with that failure. So, every goal that you have written down, make sure that you have an obstacle in front of it. What is going to be the distraction, the wall that won't allow you to get to that goal ultimately? We all have them, whether it's, hey, look, I'm going to start a diet, and that diet quickly falls apart because maybe I didn't plan enough for, hey, I'm going to look at as many diet plans that are out there, and the ones that typically everyone follow, like fad diets, maybe I don't follow those. I follow something else. I get advice from other people. The ones that I go, I'm probably going to get bored with this. I'm going to get distracted by, oh, I'm going out and life events come up and I have a birthday party and I eat cake and then I realize how much I love cake and I lose control again and I start falling off that train. Or what if it's I have a business goal to earn X amount of dollars, or I want to save X amount of dollars within the next 3 months, 6 months, a year. What happens is that we start saving, we're doing good. We see the money start piling up, maybe after 2 months, 3 months. And then a non necessity comes out that I really, really want. Or maybe it's I start going and eating lunch instead of bringing my lunch to work. Or I see a new pair of shoes and I instantly go, oh, I have some money in my bank account saved up. And I want to get this. And knowing at the time, you get distracted by, oh, it's a good price or it's a good deal, then I can always pay myself back later. And then we fall into the routine of right back to where we were. Instead of going, I'm going to plan for this, how am I going to revert around this or reroute or redirect? We fall into the habit and then we don't even realize that we don't get out of that habit again. So, what does planning to fail look like? Well, honestly, it's pretty easy. Planning to fail looks like just like planning to succeed. You're writing out goals to achieve and obtain. Well, while you're writing out these goals to achieve and attain, you should probably start writing at least one obstacle. You know yourself. You know exactly what happens to your mind and your mindset and how you think to go, I'm probably going to have a slice of cheesecake at some point. And that's okay. It's okay to allow yourself to have some sort of leniency at time, but to be aware of when the situation arises. You're planning for the moment that goes, I'm on a diet, and I know in 3 weeks I'm going to have cake at a birthday, or we have a dinner that we're going to, and we're probably going to have dessert. How do you recognize that and go, okay, I'm going to allow this to happen? It's planned out for me now that this obstacle is going to come in front of me, but I'm putting it on my calendar. I know that this is going to happen, and then I have to revert back to where I was the day after. Meaning now I have to get back on my plan. I have to make sure that things. So it's leniency, but it's approved leniency. It's not allowing yourself to do it unconsciously, and then you fall into the trap of always leaning into that failure or that obstacle or that thing that causes you to lose control or sight or view of what your of what your goals really are. So, when planning out your day to day, when planning out your month to month, your year, your 2 year, your 5 year plan, realistically, what are major things that are going to get in your way? What are the distractions that are going to happen day to day? What if it's, oh, I'm just tired and I don't feel like going to the gym? Or, oh, I'm hungry at lunch, I'm going to go buy something instead of prepping my lunch day to day. Or breakfast. Oh, a big one. A lot of people love coffee. And instead of planning ahead of time to go, I'm going to now buy my coffee from Walmart, a Keurig, use a Keurig, whatever, and I'm going to make my own coffee instead of going to Starbucks and spending that $5 and doing it multiple times a week. Or you really do love Starbucks, but I'm going to plan for it, and I'm going to go, instead of it allowing it to creep up on me and I start doing it and fall in the habit of doing day to day things, I'm going to plan for Starbucks once a week or twice a week. And I'm going to set aside money so it's already going to the things that I want. But I don't want to get in the habit of doing it every day. So I'm planning this out. I'm planning my failure ahead of time instead of allowing myself to fall into the trap of failure. I know it's coming. It's going to happen to me. I'm human. I can't control it, but I'm going to control it to the best of my ability. And however much I can influence that failure and get back out of it, I'm going to do so as quickly as possible. So, what does planning to fail actually do for you? Planning to fail is simple. It means I have a capability of rerouting myself for failures I know that are going to happen. Again, you know yourself. You know exactly how you think, how you act, and the things that you fall for throughout a day, a month, a year. Plan for them ahead of time. You will be able to reroute yourself. You'll be able to move yourself back into a positive direction faster, or you'll be able to catch the tendencies early. You'll be able to go, I need to do something now. If not, it's going to get worse. Other examples when it comes to planning to fail, the things that I know that are going to get into my way. Life events. Again, birthdays are a big one. Stressors, financial stress, relationship stress, things that might come up unexpectedly, but I'm going to write them down. It could be, these are the events that will probably happen or could happen within a year that might take my focus away from where I want to go as a person or as a family, as a team, as a business. So keeping true to your brand, who you are, I'm going to go, for me, the events that might happen could be X. I have 3 birthdays this year, 4 birthdays this year, including my own. I have a vacation planned. I have financial stresses because I might be in a market that's volatile, so it's always changing. So I might need to plan ahead of time for months that will be low, the months that I fail. So for me, taking it in sales, we're human. I'm human. You're not going to be perfect. You're probably going to have a bad month or two when it comes to not hitting or maxing out your total goals on commissions or other productive activities. I'm going to go, I'm going to have probably 1 to 2 months a year because I'm human and sometimes things just don't fall my way. It doesn't matter how much work I put into it. So I might have a bad month or two. So I go, I need to start looking now and setting aside funds to make sure that I can survive in those times. Or even in my calendar for work, I go, I have a safety net of timelines that I'm going to reach back out to in the hardest month of the year. So for me, the end of the year, November, December, those are hard times in sales worlds, depending on the industry that you're in, because maybe you sell software as a service, and that software time where you're typically selling, people are going vacation now. Deals are not happening. Things are getting pushed to the new year or call me back in a month and doing all this stuff. So I'm going to build an effective timeline list to prep for the time that I know I'm going to fail or I'm going to struggle in my cold calling efforts. What does that look like for you? Do you own a business where it's seasonal? The times of the year, you're going to have really high times and really low times. How do you prep for that? How are you going to fail? I already know I'm going to have 3 months of the year that my business is not going to perform at optimal heights. And it's nothing that I can do. I can put more work into it, but I can't physically make anything happen because I have seasonal work. How can you go around that and start planning ahead of time that failure is going to happen? How do I prep financially for it? Are there other ways that I can add more things to my repertoire of product to get me out of seasonal? So, say if you are in construction and you know at certain points of the year it's going to dip because people aren't buying houses or whatever it is, can I increase my function somewhere else? Can I use the same thing that I'm doing in X and move it to a different industry? So, what is it that you can plan for? What do you know is probably going to make you fail this year? What is going to make you fail tomorrow? Plan your failures. We're human. No one expects us to be perfect. There are others that may have high achievers, but at the end of the day, you're not a robot. You're not AI. You're going to have a mistake. You're going to have a failure of some time come up in your life. And I'm not saying that they're bad. They're not bad. It's just I need to know when they're going to happen. I need to know what might happen to me so I can go ahead and plan for it. So when you plan your goals, plan your failures. If you can plan your failures, you're going to have more success because you get the chance to reroute from them. You know it's coming. You don't know exactly when it's coming, but it's going to hit you at some point. You're going to have a failure. So reroute yourself. Allow yourself for time to fail and move back into a positive direction. I'd love to know exactly what failures that you might have so others can plan for them as well. What if there's a failure that you have that I don't even know about? That maybe I should probably start taking at least a hint of and go, I should probably plan for that myself. Leave your failures that you're going to plan for in the comments below. If you want to put the goals that will go with them, even better, because what if somebody else has those same exact goals that you do and that they don't see that failure coming and then they don't have the chance to reroute and they keep falling into the trap of not actually achieving that goal? So put your stuff in the comments. I want to know everything that there is for me to plan for. Hopefully that you got something from this as well. For now, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Please watch another video of mine. Let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you guys. If there's a topic you want me to cover, please go check them out. Go look on my page. For now, I'll see you in the next one. Be you, be great. Peace.